Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. The time has officially come. It is under 1 hour before everything is confirmed, and we can actually say that without clickbaiting. Hope everyone's doing well. Drew is tuning in from Australia. That's awesome. Miss Australia. Had a great time there earlier this year. And Nicholas Linthicum checked in. Hey, good to see you guys again. I know it's been a while since I've been live. I traveled all over Europe for the first time. It was a great trip. So, in case you were wondering where I was on the last video, kind of the rumor recap, that was in Czechia, Czech Republic. First time in Europe, so that was a lot of fun. But we made it back in time just barely in the last 24 hours or so. And it's been crazy busy for me, but we're here now, and it was not easy to get all of the schedules to align, but I didn't want to miss this. This is like a tradition, and I miss talking to you guys. I'm sorry it's been so crazy busy this past few. Oh, and someone's checking in from the Mile High City. That's cool too. I actually had a layover in Denver not that long ago, so I flew over. Good day, Tail. Hello, hello. Welcome back. So the latest leak is there's no iPhone 17 Air, just iPhone Air, which is very interesting. Yeah, I did see that report, and I'm kind of excited by it because I've wanted Apple to ditch the number scheme for a while now. I just felt like it wasn't very sustainable, and it gets old and less exciting, like the higher the numbers go. I feel like it's going to be hard for us to be like iPhone 27. It just loses kind of the wow factor. So similar to how iPads and MacBooks don't really have numbers next to them anymore. We don't call the Mac I'm using right now the MacBook Pro 25, or how many generations have there been now? Jeez. The MacBook Pro is actually older than the iPhone. Did you guys know that? The naming or the product line. The first MacBook Pro launched in 2006, which is technically a year older than the iPhone. But pretty much everything else we're using these days is newer than the iPhone. iPad came later, Apple Watch came later, AirPods came later. I guess iMac is pretty old. That's about as old as me. They started the iMac line right the same year I was born. But I feel like the iMac line is kind of dead now. Yes, Yi Hirasawa. Good to see some familiar names again, by the way. It is tradition. And while work has gotten very busy for me lately, and with travel and there's a bunch of life stuff going on I won't get into, but it's all good things. It's just busy things. I do apologize for the fewer uploads, but I'm going to prioritize the event today because didn't want to miss this, and it's fun. And it's always just kind of like the highlight of the year, I think, for the channel, because we can finally shut up about leaks and rumors and actually just enjoy the announcements for what they are and criticize the weird parts of them. But hopefully there's some surprises today. Yeah, there was a few last minute reports. I think that was probably the biggest one, though, the naming of the iPhone Air and just not considering it a 17. But I'm curious if they're going to drop the numbers across all of them or just the Air. The Air, for some reason, doesn't get any number treatment for whatever. But Julia Rose, thank you for the super chat. Happy Apple Event Day. I'm ready and excited. Cool, me too. The other report that I guess I should have highlighted more that I didn't. Again, it's been a very busy last couple of months for me, but all of the last second reports are claiming that the 17 Pro and Pro Max are going to have vapor chambers, which I've been asking for, I think, for over a year now. But yeah, overheating is a real problem on all iPhones, especially when you're recording things outside and using 5G, which you kind of have to these days because of how they throttle LTE. I will say, though, I haven't had that many overheating issues with my 16 Pro Max, so it's not like a must have. Like, I will definitely upgrade my phone for a vapor chamber, but it's been around on Android phones for years. It's not that complicated and expensive. I think the Pixel 9 had vapor chambers. Um, so again, everybody's playing catch up. Pixel 10 has Pixel Snap now, which is just their version of MagSafe, and the iPhone's getting a vapor chamber, which has been around. So they're all just copying from each other. They're all just getting more and more similar. But yeah, I would be excited to hear that there's actually some. It's not active cooling, is it? I don't know. Just some kind of tech going into the phone that is trying to actively keep it cool and running. Because in the past I have had overheating issues, but not really much on my 16 Pro Max. And yeah, the batteries are bigger, of course. Drew Shoto, thank you for the super chat. I will be trading in my 15 Pro Max for the 17 Pro Max. I'm not sure what color, maybe orange. That's another one. There's so many reports that are doubling down on the new orange color, but I've seen probably 5 separate years where they've said there's going to be an orange iPhone, and then it ends up not being true. It ends up just being another shade of gold, or just another dark or light blue, especially for the pros. So I'll be curious to see if we actually get a real orange iPhone this year, because at least in the leak community, they are really doubling down on the colors. Everyone just keeps saying the pros are going to be dark blue and this new vibrant kind of orange look. I still miss product red. I wish product red would come back, but it sounds like it's not. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully there's some surprises today. Pen, I remembered the translation. Thank you for the super chat. Long time no see. I am excited to see what Apple might call the new iPhone. Oh, I mean, good morning. That was good. Good job. Hey, Neem is in the chat. I haven't talked to Neem in a while. Speaking of work, I've quit all 3 jobs and I'm finally free to enjoy myself on iPhone day of all days. P.S. I'm not a moron, just tired and applied to new jobs like at Apple Store. Okay, good. I'm glad you didn't quit just for today. I would just, not that this is the most ethical thing to do, but I would just call in sick. Just say, I'm not feeling too sorry, I am tired. I've had like 3 hours of sleep each night for the past 5 nights. I apologize. I'm not feeling too well. I think I got the black lung, Papa. Please, I hope someone remembers that reference. I'm not that weird. Okay, I'm a little weird. Alpha Davi says, I just hope the $200 increase isn't real. Me too. Amen. Brother, I really hope iPhone Air is not an $1,100 phone, especially when you take a step back and realize they just took out a bunch of things from the 16 Plus. Took out the camera, took out the battery, took out the speakers. But it's thin, and because it's thin, I guess it's supposed to be cool and exciting, but yeah, I hope that price increase isn't real. And oh my gosh, holy cow, Chris Norton coming in way too generous again. Seriously, it's not necessary to. Just to be clear, I would do this even if no one super chatted. So don't feel any pressure to super chat. Like it's let's just watch. It's fine. But thank you. He said hello. I have some money. Far too kind of you, Chris. Thank you though. Far too generous. YouTube, where's that? I haven't actually tried recently. Now, there's still no refund button. I want a refund button, YouTube. Especially when some of those big super chats come in. Way too kind of you, Chris, but thank you, thank you. Let's just call it there. We don't need any more super chats. Thank you. You'll be an Apple sheep no matter what, so stop complaining about the price, all right? No, I sheep are very stubborn creatures. I know. I interacted with some in Europe. And I can absolutely be a sheep that complains, for sure. In fact, there's very few Apple products out of what's announced I actually buy and keep. So while I follow Apple and I like watching what they do, I would say probably only like 5 or 4% of what they announce I actually end up buying and using. It's a pretty low percentage. So let's see. Does it make sense to still hold on to 11 Pro Max? Was thinking of getting 20-year anniversary special iPhone. I have so much skepticism surrounding that model. Nothing about the reports of it makes sense to me. I'll probably have to do a video on that later. But today we got to focus on what's actually being announced. Johnny Kane says, the annual apologizing for taking super chat stream. I know, I'm so predictable, aren't I? Okay, no apologize. Thank you, Tech Space Cowboy. Do you think the 16E will drop in price? Will there be a 17E? I think the reports are saying there is going to be a 17E, but I remember making a video at some point saying it's a bad idea. I don't think you should. There's nothing really wrong with the 16E. If anything, the problem with it is they put too much premium hardware in it and they're charging too much for it. I don't think the 16E is a bad phone. I just think it's poorly priced. And probably a lot of people are going to get the 16E through some trade-in or some carrier deal where they're just like, hey, you're due for an upgrade. Have a 16E on us or whatever. So, yeah, I don't really think the 16E needs a newer chip even. It's got Apple Intelligence already. Any chip upgrade at this point going from, what is it, the A18 if they up it to the A19, um, that's not going to make a big difference. I would rather them not update anything about it and just lower the price. But that's a good question. So I guess, do I think they'll drop it? Hopefully, yeah, I guess it's possible. I don't know if I'd say it's likely, but I guess all the other iPhone 16s are going down in price, right? So why not the 16e? I don't know. I guess it could. That's a great question because I don't feel like there's a super obvious solution. Um, Surely the 17e would be February, March. Yeah, of course. The 17e would not come out today. That would be pretty weird. Do we think the iPhone Air will have MagSafe, or will that be removed like on the 16e? Yes. Okay. Thank you for asking that, Scott Stowell, because that is an excellent question. They removed MagSafe, obviously, from the 16e with the argument that, well, cheaper iPhones, they don't need most of the time they plug in with a wire. I'm like, okay, but you still have wireless charging. Those magnets cost next to nothing, especially when you're charging that much money for a phone. I think it should have MagSafe, but I think they might make the argument, maybe not during the event. This is something they probably wouldn't highlight. This is something we would find out afterwards. We go in the tech specs and realize. But maybe they remove the magnets from the iPhone Air for the sake of keeping it thinner and lighter. If that's the goal, it's like they couldn't even keep in a dual camera. They couldn't keep in stereo speakers. They couldn't keep in a proper battery. They take out a bunch of stuff. Why would the magnets stay? Especially if this is a phone that's probably very likely to be bought with a case because people are going to be worried about it bending or worried that it's too fragile or something. So personally, I don't feel super confident about it. I could see it going either way, but I would, if I had to guess, I would say there's like a 60 or 70% chance that there's no magnets on the iPhone Air, and they just say, well, if you need MagSafe, just buy a case. You can buy any third-party case for pretty cheap, honestly, and first-party case that have the magnets. So once you put the case on the iPhone Air, now it has the magnet capability. But um, that would suck. I don't think that's a good thing, by the way. But the magnets obviously are not that much space, which is why I wouldn't say I'm like 80 or 90% confident they're going to remove it. Especially for the price point, if it's very likely to be around $1,000 for an iPhone Air, skimping out on MagSafe to me, especially because there's probably going to be a lot of people coming from iPhone 15 or 14 or iPhone 12, and they're upgrading. It's like they're used to having MagSafe, so to spend $1,000 on a new phone and get fewer features, well, I guess iPhone Air is already lacking a bunch of features as is, so maybe it's not that big a deal. Yeah, buy your mom a MagSafe case. Tim Cook. Oh boy. Timmy's got some interesting moments in his career now, doesn't he? Now this is weird. Okay, so Sam17 just super chatted with no comment. I don't understand this. I'm not apologizing. No more. I'm not gonna do the predictable like no more super chatting. Okay, I'm just gonna beg all of you to super chat your life saving. Oh, Drew, if we super chat this much, will you buy the new iPhone? No. No, I'm going to use this to buy lunch. I'm going to eat. No, that's not true. I actually brought in some snacks. I don't know about you guys, but we've got 45 minutes till the event starts. So I've got some, I don't know what these are. They look like mandarins. Some kind of citrus. Oh, from Peru. It must be good. And I got some of these solid Ritz crackers. Why are Ritz crackers so insecure? You know, the box is always telling you, like, oh, you can put meat on it or you can put toppings on it. It's like, bro, I just want a Ritz cracker. Just relax. We don't have to put so much. And I got my, of course, Apple official water bottle, limited edition. You could only get them in the Cupertino office. Um, what cellular did you use abroad? Are you still a Mint Mobile user? I am, and I actually didn't use a SIM card. We like to travel light, and we also like to just not spend too much if we don't have to. So we did all the like cheapest hotels. It was still a great trip. Actually, even the cheap hotels were quite nice. Um, but yeah, we just thought it'd be a fun challenge to disconnect a little bit because I've probably worked more and longer hours this year between Tailosive stuff and my other job. more than ever, so we wanted to kind of disconnect, and I didn't want to be online all the time. So I didn't get any sim. So for a lot of the trip, I was just no cell data, and it was nice actually. It was pretty nice. Mo Bamba says, any chance the dynamic island gets smaller on pros? I think there were a few reports claiming that, but they ended up being disproven and they were not from very reliable sources. So I'm pretty sure the dynamic island's not getting smaller. If it does get smaller, it's going to be very slight, probably hard to notice, kind of like a notch difference between iPhone 13 and 14, or I was going to say 12 to 13, but that was more noticeable, wasn't it? So I don't think there's a big change with the dynamic island this year, but next year is when that's rumored to happen. I think the iPhone 18 Pro and 18 Pro Max are likely going to go. Um, Somehow they're going to put the dot projector or something underneath the display. Not quite the camera yet, but they'll shrink a little bit. But Ritz are goated. Salted butter puff crackers. It doesn't get any better. Dude, seriously, just like when you got some water to go with it, it's water bottle. Exactly. Good old Ritz in a water bottle. You've got time, guys. You got 45 minutes to get some good snacks. I think while the event's taking place, it's nice to hydrate. Oh my god. Side tangent. I know, like, Europe is not known for being like as capitalistic as America. Everyone's always like, "Oh, America's all capitalism to the max," and that is true in many ways. However, the fact that you have to pay for water everywhere, and many airports in Europe do not have water fountains. It was much harder to get access to just like good water, and you have to pay for refills at restaurants and stuff. Europe was amazing, by the way. Great, beautiful country, amazing public transport. I loved all the trains we took, and the trams we took within the cities, and the fast moving trains. All kinds of great things I can say about Europe. However, one thing I missed about the U.S. You can drink as much water as you want, and the refills are free, and there's water fountains everywhere. It's great. Personally, I think it tastes better here too. Maybe that's just my American blood speaking. Paying for water. Yeah. We pay for health insurance, but we don't pay for water. Also the smoke. There's so much people smoking in Europe, and I just hate the smell of smoke. Ah, great. I know. There's Europe's a bunch of countries. I know. I'm tired. It feels like one country though when you go between the airports and they don't check your passport. So you can go between all these different countries in Europe, and it doesn't feel like you're crossing borders. It feels like they're all connected. I understand. I understand. It's a continent. I'm sorry. Um, we visited Germany, Spain, Italy, and Czech. I was technically in Poland for an hour, just a just a layover. Um, Getting the 17 Pro Max, then going to Ireland, London, and Paris a week after. I'll be appreciating the camera upgrades. Oh, that sounds like fun. I hope you enjoy it, Jacob. When I was in Italy, I remember spending €1 just to go to a public bathroom. Yes. Oh my God. I can't believe that there was paid restrooms in a bunch of places. That blew my mind. Um, totally European. Will Timmy be giving the keynote, or will they be handing it to Pepperoni Craig? Usually Tim starts and then they hand it off to a bunch of people on iPhone events. Usually Craig actually has very little to say at iPhone presentations. There's been several where he's not there. We're only 20 minutes in. How did we already get on politics? Well, I was in Europe. I just have some side thoughts. I know. I understand it's a bunch of countries, but it doesn't feel like it to me because you just hop on a plane and then you hop off. It's not like they stamp your passport, which to me, when I'm going to a new country, that's usually the sign you had to go through immigration or you had to go through customs, that kind of thing. Um, Mexico does that too. Paid restrooms. Ugh, no way. That doesn't. I think they do paid restrooms in Europe because they know they can get away with that. See, Americans are very prideful and petty. So if you tried to do a paid restroom in America, the American would be like, "All right, I guess I'm peeing outside." They would just like pee in public in front of everybody. So they're like, "No, no, 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 please, just use the bathroom, use the bathroom." In Europe, they're like, "Oh, I gotta pay, okay." It's like a cultural difference. See, that's like a backhanded compliment. I get. Maybe it's not a compliment. We have we have free restrooms not because not because we're not capitalist, but because we know Americans would protest that way too hard, and Europeans are just like, yeah, okay, that's fine. I'm waiting for Tim Cook to introduce himself by saying "Good morning" in a big, loud, great voice. Hopefully, extremely loud to the point that he breaks all of our AirPods as we're wearing them, and then we have to buy new ones. AirPods Pro 3 are allegedly being announced today, by the way, and available for order. So the iPhones won't be available to pre-order until this Friday, likely around 5 a.m. Pacific, 8 a.m. Eastern. But the AirPods Pro 3 are supposed to be available to order today, and you might get them next week. All that's really rumored with them, though, is health stuff and slightly different case design. Where am I? They're charging right here. So this little gray indicator light is supposed to be gone, which is not a surprise. They already did that on AirPods 4. Um, and so is this button, but I think there will still be a way to activate pairing mode. It's just a capacitive button instead of a physical one. And then obviously this indicator light, it lights up when you open the case and stuff, but it still has a little gray hole when it's not being used. Whereas on AirPods 4, that little light just completely disappears. It might be slightly smaller case, but other than that, it's not supposed to be a big like noise cancellation or audio quality boost. It's mainly just like health sensors and a new case. So personally, I'm very, very happy with AirPods Pro 2. I use these so much through all of my flights throughout Europe, and these are fantastic. I love that they're Type C. I love that I can charge them with MagSafe and inductive charging, and with the Apple Watch charge puck, which my wife did bring our old MagSafe Duo. I can't believe they never replaced this. Can Apple just release a Type C version of this? And please don't send me a million links to third party ones. I understand. Third parties made a version of this, but I just think this was a very handy accessory, especially when you're traveling and you're just packing up really quick and you just there, done. It's so thin, it's so small, and it's so easy to set up. And there were many times on the trip where after my wife was finished charging her watch, I would just plop the AirPods Pro on there. They're great. These are fantastic. I don't personally have any interest in AirPods Pro 3 at this point, but if you are interested in temperature checking and heart rate monitoring from your AirPods, and you just really, really hate the pairing button on the back, I know this is so upsetting to everybody. I guess they're getting rid of it. But are there any chances we'll see a screen on AirPods Pro 3? Yeah, I think they messed around with it, but none of the recent reports claim it's going to have it. I'm guessing Apple just decided it wasn't that helpful or that useful, and it probably complicates the manufacturing and decreases the battery life because now you've got a display to power. But yeah, I have seen third-party cases that have that. Pretty cheap ones too. Like my sister got a pair of earbuds for like $30, and she liked them. They said the sound quality was pretty good, but the case did have a screen on it, so you could see the exact percentage of the battery. You didn't have to check your phone. Um, they're probably not going to do it though. How much you think the older iPhone trade-in price will drop to today? Trade-in values are never very good. I wouldn't expect it to be close to resale value. So if you are looking to recoup some of the costs by selling your old phone, I would start with trying to sell online or locally is probably the best because then you don't have a fee to worry about with like Swappa or eBay. They take a fee, but they do increase your reach. So pros and cons. But if you sell on like Marketplace or something, you can sell it for cash and then you don't have to pay a fee or something. How long did it take you to get used to the European outlet plugs are different than the North American wallet? It was fine. We just had a little adapter. I don't know where it went, but yeah, there's just a little adapter I had and it worked great. It was fine. Um, Trade-in is worth it. Bypass tire kickers and scam. I've really never had a bad experience selling my old iPhone. I had one bad experience selling a Pixel, but I think the guy was just kind of crazy. Um, and the other problem that you should probably avoid. I have traded in iPhones in the past, but it's usually when they're not in great condition because Apple trade-in tends to not care that much. Like obviously trade-in will care if you have like a cracked screen. But Apple trade-in usually doesn't care if there's some like scratches on the screen because they're not going to turn it around and sell it, or if they do, they're going to replace the glass anyway. Um, but I think it was the Pixel 3 XL. Geez, that sounds so old now that the Pixel 10 is out. But the Pixel 3 XL I used for a while, and it got some light scratches. It wasn't cracked, but the screen obviously was not in pristine condition. And I sold it on Marketplace, and I tried to show the scratches, and I disclosed that this was not in perfect condition. I think I had it set to like good or fair or something like that. It was kind of low on the used thing. And this guy was really interested in it, but he kept saying, like, what's the condition? And I said, well, it's not perfect, but the screen works. It's not cracked. It just has some scuffs on it. And he did not, I guess, understand that, even though I tried in the description and in the text to disclose that. And then we met up and he got really mad and angry and he was like yelling at me. He was like, why did you not disclose? I was like, I did you not read the text? I was like, I brought it up. He's like, no, this isn't right, you need to explain that. And I was like, okay. But that, other than that, I've sold probably like 15 phones, Androids. I've sold iPhones on Marketplace and met up with people, showed it to them, and they're like, yeah, it looks good. And then they pay, and that was it. Most of the time, people are pretty reasonable. But if you don't like going through the hassle of having to meet up with people or having to accept messages and be like, people try to talk it down and like, can you accept this much? And if you don't want to go through all that, yeah, trade in is just the floor. So obviously, never sell your phone for close or less than the trade in value because that's going to be the quickest. You can just literally walk into the store and be like, I don't want this anymore. And then they go, okay. And they give you your money, which is cool. But yeah, the Apple Store is down, by the way, which it doesn't happen before every event. This only happens when they're about to drop new products, which is why I think AirPods Pro 3 is likely what's going to be available to order today, and possibly the new Apple Watches. Um, I'll do whatever I can to not people. Well, there you go. Offer up is good if you don't want to make a Facebook account. Good idea. Thank you, Dudidi. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. How many years do you recommend keeping an iPhone for? It's really, I don't think there is a right answer. It really just comes down to how you use your phone and how your phone is aging. I know people that are still using iPhone 8s and 7s, and they don't need their phone for anything that complicated. So for them, they're like, well, I can still send texts. I can still do GPS. That's what I really need my phone for. So they don't care, especially older demographic. I've got family members that are older in age who don't really care about the latest displays, and a lot of them actually don't want the newer phones because then they're going to have to relearn how to use their phone. So if your current phone is working for you fine and there's nothing wrong with it, then just keep holding on to it. Why not? But if you've got enough income to support upgrading more regularly and you appreciate having a better camera, a bigger display, or whatever, then yeah, it all just comes down to your use case. I don't think there's like a one simple answer. I know some people that upgrade every 4 years. I know some people that upgrade every 7 years, and I know people that upgrade every year. And I think, assuming their finances can sustain that, that's all. That's all fine. There's not one right answer. Hey Dylan, he says it's been a while since I've caught a live stream. Well, it's been a while since I've streamed. Period. It's been probably over a month now. But yeah, good to see you all again. Love all the familiar names. Does anybody use the little button on the side of the iPhone? I can't find any use. I hate that. I can't map it to unlock my phone with it. How would you unlock the phone? You mean like Touch ID? You just want to press a button and it unlocks? What is your theory of what the Apple event invite is hinting at? Well, personally, I like how it moves in the animation. I think people overvalue what the invite means. 90% of the time, honestly, the invite is usually just referencing color options, and sometimes not even that. I think a lot of people overanalyze it and think, oh, it means this, or that, and oftentimes it never translates to anything. My guess, though, is the best theory I've read. I won't take credit for this theory, but the best theory I've seen, because it does very much look like a thermal camera, like a heat map. And there's been talk of vapor chambers. So maybe they're going to have a comparison where they show here's the iPhone 16 thermally doing the same things as an iPhone 17, and it just shows that the 17 is much cooler. I don't know. Maybe they'll do that. I feel like it's rare these days for Apple to actually showcase this year's iPhone to last year's iPhone. They usually have to go back 4 years in order for it to be noticeable. Like, let's compare the new M4 chip to the Intel chip from 2010. Wow, it's so much faster. It always does that. But it'd be cool if they actually had some objective advantages where they could showcase, here's this year's iPhone and it's substantially better than last year's iPhone. So try to really motivate people to upgrade. I don't know, but that was the best theory I've read. The colors, I don't know, they're very saturated in the invite, which is why I don't think this is a good indication of colors. It's like very dark blue and then very bright orange. Well, I guess that would make sense. Yeah, I guess we've got dark blue and orange on the Pro, so maybe it is a reference to the colors. Okay, Edgy, I don't know how to pronounce your last name, sorry, but thank you for being a channel member for 3 months. Do you think Apple is missing the 2015 era? Missing as in like longing, or just like they're aiming to do something big and they're not hitting it? I don't know. I think Apple, as well as most other tech companies, are struggling with making meaningful updates. Like, everything is so incremental these days, but I don't think that's their fault. I think it's just the reality of the technology that they've built their empire around. Like it or not, as much as Tim wants Apple to become like a software business and a recurring revenue business, I think it's worth mentioning that just like still the majority of the company's profits are iPhone and the hardware. That still accommodates for the vast majority of where their money comes from. And they've kind of built their whole company around hardware sales. And the iPhone in particular has been kind of the center of this whole ecosystem. And there's only so much improvement you can really give to that footprint or that tech category. So if there's no other way to go, then yeah, you're going to kind of hit a wall. And Apple, I think, is kind of facing a little bit of an identity crisis, especially with the Apple Intelligence thing, because they just are clearly trying to hop on the AI bandwagon, be like, we're AI too, we can do it too. And they obviously aren't very good at it, and they had to like take down commercials that were promising features they couldn't deliver. So now it's kind of in an awkward stage of the company, and I think that boredom, to get to your later point, which is they're making everything thinner and more Johnny Ive like. I think they're doing that out of like, well, we tried everything else. I don't think it necessarily results in substantially more sales. I don't think it's as impactful as the 2015 era. If you're just talking about making things thinner, um, I feel like that was pre 2015. I guess 2015 was when we got the 12-inch MacBook, which was pretty thin. But the obsession with thinner, lighter tech went way before 2015. That was kind of Jobs era, which was, of course, pre 2011. No, I don't think they necessarily miss those days. I think they're very forward thinking. They don't reminisce too much anymore, but I do think that the reason they're pursuing the thinness and the lightness is just out of like, well, we've done everything else we can do. Like, we're gonna get the 17 Pros today, and I assume there will be camera upgrades, especially with the telephoto lens and the selfie camera getting higher megapixel counts. But personally, I still think in the side by side comparisons, the difference is going to be pretty small. I don't think it's going to be noticeable step change, and I'm sure the battery life will be better, but it's not like night or day difference. So Apple's trying to figure out what features can we incorporate that make for good headlines and make it sound like we're making a big impact, but at the end of the day, you're gonna put a case on the phone. You're not gonna. It's not gonna feel that thin. Martin Gel, thank you for your 1 month of Tailosive Tech Pro. iPhone 17 base is expected to have 120 hertz finally. How do you think Apple will nerf it to tick off techies? So, okay, thank you for bringing that up, because this is one of the biggest questions I have for today, because I'm not exactly sure which way Apple could go with it. But all the reports are saying that the non-Pro iPhones are getting 120 hertz, but they're not dynamic refresh rate changing. They're not the LTPO panels that can go down to 1 hertz or even 10 hertz, I believe. The type of panels they're rumored to be using are the kind that basically can just switch between 60 hertz and 120 hertz. That's it. There's not like some in between or low, which is what Apple deems as ProMotion. Usually the definition of ProMotion was not 120 hertz. Usually the definition of ProMotion was it's a refresh rate that goes up to 120 but then goes way down in order to prioritize battery life, because if you left it at 120 it would eat into your battery life. And the particularly weird thing is the iPhone Air has a pretty small battery life for the display size. Supposed to be around like 3,000 milliamp hours. So to leave it at 120 hertz out the box is kind of asking for a pretty weakened battery life. And that's what makes me think there's a strong possibility that it won't be 120 hertz out the box. I think maybe at least with the Air. Maybe on the regular iPhone 17, they're comfortable just keeping it 60 hertz when the display is static and then going up to 120 when you're moving. And that still would not be great for battery life, but maybe they have a way to compensate for it with the new silicon on the inside, and maybe they find a way to like battery life is the same as before, but if you turn off 120 hertz, you technically get a little bit better battery life. But with the iPhone Air, I feel like they might keep it at 60 hertz by default, and then just during certain use cases, it jumps up to 120. Like if you're gaming or something, activate game mode, then you get 120. Or maybe when you're connected to power, like while you're charging, they don't care as much about battery life, so then they up it to 120. But yeah, I'm extremely curious on how they implement that. We've been talking about it for a while because I think since even before the iPhone 16 came out, there were reports saying on the iPhone 17 series, 120 hertz will come to the non-pros. And I remember in those videos being like, yeah, they might, but they're not going to give it the exact same. It's a pro feature, right? Pro motion. So to give a pro feature to a non-pro, they never did it on the iPads, even though this iPad, I still have this one. It's technically like my wife uses it, but this 10.5-inch iPad Pro from 2017 that doesn't get iPadOS updates anymore. This has 120 hertz, okay, because it's the Pro iPad. It gets Pro motion, and yet with the brand new, $900 iPad Air 12.9 inches, that does not get Pro motion. It totally could have. The display tech exists, and they chose to not give it to the Air. So I know they don't do everything identically between the iPads and the iPhones, but this was actually the first Apple product that had ProMotion, and it still works. This has actually been a very useful iPad for us, just not really because we use it that much, but for whatever reason, way back in 2017, 8 years ago, when I bought this, unboxed it on this channel, I got the 512 gigs. I think because at the time I didn't have Wi-Fi at my house, and I like to store things locally because I couldn't really access cloud storage very easily. So this has 512 gigs and AirDrop. So basically, whenever my wife's phone fills up, she tends to just AirDrop her old photos and videos onto this. So it's like an AirDrop powered external SSD. That's kind of how we treat it. We don't actually like read books or watch much on it here, but it still works. It's incredibly how snappy 120 hertz feels, which is weird. Okay. Even after all these years, it doesn't feel like it's slowed down that much. Let's see. I'm so used to 60 hertz, I don't even care if I ever have 120 hertz. I mean, I've gotten so comfortable with it now that I don't feel like 60 hertz. Like, I can get used to it, but I have a hard time getting comfortable with it. Maybe they'll call it air motion. It's funny, a lot of people suggested that years ago. Like, maybe with air motion, they'll go to 90 hertz instead of 120. But I don't even think the panels they're using are capable of doing that. I think it's just 60, 120. I don't know. Again, that's why this is a fascinating event for me. It's not like there's going to be a bunch of surprises, but there's definitely a few things that we've heard about, but we're not sure of the implementation. Like, how are they going to advertise this? Are they going to even bring it up? What do you think about turning the camera button into the action button? I think it's too close to the volume buttons, especially when pressed in your pocket. I'm all in favor of removing the camera control. I do not find it useful. In fact, it's actually annoyed me more than it's helped me. there's been many, many situations where someone else is taking a picture for me, or I'm trying to take a picture really quick, and my hand, while I'm holding the phone like this, starts like bumping camera control, and it zooms. It goes from 1x to like 0.9x. So now I'm cropping in on a much inferior sensor, the ultra wide lens, and I'm like, oh, okay, now the photo looks worse, or now it's zooming in when it's not supposed to, and I have to go onto the screen and make sure, okay, 1x, please don't like zoom in and out. So I am perfectly fine if they just remove camera control. I don't think very many people are using it personally. Maybe in the tech community there is. Um, but I don't know if I like that position of a button. I'm okay with the action button. I actually use that quite a bit. I get what you're saying that you think it's too close to volume, but for me, because it's a smaller button, it's been pretty easy for me to know, like, oh, I can feel for it. Like, these are the volume buttons, they're longer. Here's the shorter button, that's the action button. So I use that quite a bit, especially on vacation when there's all kinds of, we saw the Colosseum and we saw the Michelangelo's, artwork and statues and that kind of thing. So if you're running around taking pictures all the time, or even if you're just following directions on your phone and you want to quickly launch the camera, just being able to hold down that action button and boom, now you're in the camera. I love that. But the fact that camera control is like indented makes the case kind of, not flush anymore, which I don't like. And I don't know. I'm pro action button, but not pro camera control. I think that's taking it too far, I guess. I changed my action button to Gemini Live since Siri is crap. Cannot go back without my lovely Gemini Live. Well, it's funny you say that because there's actually been a ton of reports that Apple is working with Google to power Siri. So there's a chance that Siri might just be powered by Gemini. Maybe they should. I think they should scrap the name. I don't think Siri has carried such a negative connotation now that I don't think it's worth. I don't think it's worth keeping the name for. I think they should just scrap it and say this is our new AI assistant, and we're calling it Gemini. I don't know. Sorry, I missed Gemma Waffle's super chat. Thoughts on the macOS Safari compact tab view that they removed with macOS 26? I need it back. I'm scared. I haven't used macOS 26 yet, and now I kind of don't want to. What do you mean the compact tab? Is that when you have the little miniaturized icons at the top? I'm curious. They should have just done 2 action buttons. You know what? Okay. I'm not in favor of 2 action buttons, but I wouldn't be opposed. I feel like maybe a lot of you guys wouldn't like this idea. I wouldn't be opposed to a second USB-C port. I don't know. Just because of the way I use my phone with an external microphone, and sometimes I record straight to an external SSD, and sometimes I want to charge it as I'm plugging in accessories to it. So is that unreasonable? I don't know. I feel like there's arguments for it that I could see making the iPhone more useful, where you're like charging it and using accessories. It's not super Apple-like, but hey, they did remove a bunch of legacy ports from the MacBook and then add them back. I would also argue adding more buttons is not very Apple-like, right? Okay, Alpha agrees with me. Or Alpa Derdavi, sorry. An extra USB-C would be better than camera control. Yes, okay, there you go. I don't think that's going to happen today, but that's my argument. If Apple announces a new iPhone with 2 USB-C ports, I'm in. And honestly, I could see that working with the foldable kind of well, because the foldable's already basically just like 2 iPhones sewn together. So if you just had a Type-C port on either side, I don't care if it's $2,000. That'd be kind of helpful. They combine the standard and compact view on Safari on Mac, and then your Mac Safari screen changes colors depending on the color of the web page. What? Ugh. I'm a little bit nervous. I've heard so many complaints about liquid glass and how it tanks your battery and it makes the phone perform way worse. This might be the first year I don't update my phone on launch day. Are you also hyped or meh? I'm in the middle. I'm not like pumped over the moon, like, oh my god, my heart's beating really fast. We got 15 minutes. I can't wait to see what they announce. Like, I don't plan on upgrading this year, So I'm very curious though. I think that would describe how I feel about today's event. I'm very curious how they're going to market these phones and these features, how they're going to incorporate this or that. Um, I'm very interested, but I wouldn't say I'm like pumped. I'm not like, whoa, here we go. It's gonna like, yeah, whatever. A lot of techie people are saying the beta is smooth, but then Snazzy Labs got it and said, "You're all wrong. This is not smooth at all." Oh, okay. I guess some people may be new, so I should probably explain this now. How do you watch me and the event? So, for copyright reasons, I have attempted this. Apple did not let me. They literally took the live stream down in the middle of the event, which was kind of crazy. But I cannot show the Apple event as I'm reacting to it, and I can't even play the audio. That doesn't work either. So, unfortunately, you have a choice to make. You can either turn off this live stream when the event starts, or you can be way more fun and have a second device, or if you're on Mac, you can have two windows going at once where you have the Apple event playing in one window and then you have me playing in a different window, and you technically will have to get it perfectly in sync, you'll have to pause the Apple event for like 9 or 10 seconds and then hit play, because there's always going to be a delay no matter how good my internet is. There's nothing I can do about it. There's going to be a delay because I have to record, process, and send my live feed to YouTube. YouTube has to encode it and send it out to you. So that means that if you just play my live stream and you play the Apple event live stream as up to date as possible, the Apple event will be a little bit ahead of where I am. Some people don't care about that, but if you want us to be perfectly in sync, you need to pause the Apple event for 9 or 10 seconds, and then I'll be pretty much reacting to it with you. But I will read some of the beginning announcements so that you can see how close we are in sync or off. For some people, it varies. For some people, it's like a 30-second delay. For some people, it's like a 10-second delay. So, what if you have a mirror in the back? Well, you're not going to be able to see much, and I don't have a mirror in here, so sorry. But that's the only way I've been able to make this reaction kind of stream work, unfortunately. Um, but no, I cannot show Apple's event on screen as I'm reacting. Snazzy Labs complains about Snazzy Lab. Yeah, but he's right. I mean, he complains about a lot, but that's kind of what Twitter is good at. I don't think people go on Twitter to appraise how nice things are. But I believed him. I trust him when he says that it's still buggy, and I bet it still tanks your battery. I think so many people have been on the dev betas for so long that they've seen it way buggier, so they feel like the latest version is much smoother than it used to be, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's stable. You think Apple will finally allow 8K video now that all three camera sensors will have 48 megapixel? We've been talking about it for years. We keep saying like they've had the sensor capability. They've had 48 megapixels is enough to do 8K. It's really just a question of, do you have the processor to handle it? And they do. And they've actively chosen not to. So my hot take is no, I don't think they're going to have 8K. But knowing how terrible my track record is, this will be the year they actually add it, now that I'm saying, no, I don't think so. Make it really small with no sound for sync. I could try. I don't know. I don't want to mess around with it because then I got to start the stream all over again, and it was honestly very annoying last time. But I'm watching it from Apple's own website for those curious. Sometimes there's like slight differences between watching it on YouTube versus watching it on the site. How much do you think the price goes up? I hope I'm wrong, but I think the leaked price reports could be correct. I think the iPhone Air might be like $1,100, and the base model, but it'll be 256 gig. That'll be their way out. They'll be like, yeah, but technically, it's about the same if you look at the storage. Yeah, whatever. And then the 17 Pro, I think, could be $1,100 for the smaller size, and then $1,200 for the Pro Max. That's my guess. But there's a lot of reports claiming that there's basically no price hikes. There's a lot of reports saying that the iPhone Air will be $900, the 17 Pro will be $1,000, and the Pro Max will be what is it, $1,200? Because they get rid of the 128 gigs. Isn't it free use? Apparently not, because again, I tried it several times to show the event as I'm reacting to it, and they took the stream down. It got removed. I'm not making that up. It would actually be way better for my channel. It would statistically, I get way more viewers if I'm able to show the stream because then you don't have to have two tabs open. Um, but they don't let me. They said no. Two things about the leaks is pricing and the color leaks are more often than not wrong. But there's really only like two or three ways the pricing can go, and the kind of every scenario has been suggested. So someone's going to end up being right, I think, unless everything is just way too high. What will they name the new color? Pumpkin sunset or just orange? Pumpkin. That's good. Uh, I feel like with the pros, they can't just call it orange. I was gonna say they'll call it orange titanium, but then I remembered it's not titanium. So, oh, that's another prediction I want to make. I think with the pros, they're not going to be technically like the same grade of aluminum. They're gonna somehow brag about how this aluminum is better. This is like premium higher tier aluminum. They're gonna try to come up with some argument as to why this is okay to switch away from titanium. Remember how many advertisements they made for titanium? Remember how they were like, this, they had billboards everywhere that there was just like titanium, titanium. Like they were so excited about titanium on everything, and now they're just like, yeah, whatever. Pumpkin spice iPhone, that tastes great. I'm trying to think of a good name, like space orange. I don't know. I thought of space gray or something. Like you can't just have gold; you have to have starlight. So what's something orange? Solar orange. It's like the color of stars. Burnt orange. I don't know. Aluminum. Yeah. And if they have a vapor chamber, I tweeted this earlier. There's no way they're gonna call it a vapor chamber. Apple would not just say, "Oh, we have a vapor chamber now." They're gonna say, "This is a new state of the art liquid cooling uh, smart cooler." I don't know. The liquid smart cooler is what they'll call it. They won't just say vapor chamber because that's what everybody else has. And Apple has to do it their own unique way. You can't have a VR headset. You have to have spatial computing, right? Every color will now have aluminum next to it. It would be kind of funny. Orange aluminum, black aluminum. Yeah, that I think I totally agree with Has Likes Tech. They're gonna call it our own custom alloy 9000 series aluminum. That's the strongest, most durable aluminum we've ever made with a custom coating. I don't know, something funny like that. They're gonna have Johnny Ive show up just to pronounce aluminum. No, they can't afford him. He's too expensive now. You'll think they'll have reverse charge with that little cutout. No, I just to be clear, the iPhone 12 has reverse wireless charging. Every iPhone, I think, has it. They just don't activate it because it's not very practical, especially with the magnets. It kind of they're not the right polarity, so reverse wireless charging is just an extremely inefficient way of charging, and it forces you to put your phone like face down, and then you can't use it. So the magnets don't align properly; they don't attach to each other, and you lose so much power. It's like double. It's like worse than even normal wireless charging, and you're putting like glass on glass. So I just think they're not going to do it. Um, but yeah, the iPhone 12 had reverse wireless charging. It's just only activated with the Apple Smart MagSafe battery. They built it into the software so that that was the only way to activate it. So that if you had the MagSafe battery on the back, you could plug in the iPhone 12 with a wire and it would reverse charge the MagSafe battery. But that's because this has the different polarity. You know, there's a reason you can do this and it slaps on the back, but you can't do two MagSafes and never mind. Okay. All right. Well, that's pretty close. I mean, they're not like perfectly aligned, but maybe you can do it. I don't know. I think it's still different because this is like on the receiving end versus this on the non-receiving end. That is a great clip. Just play the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme song. Boom, boom, boom. I'd love enough. Better telephoto is rumored. Yeah, just a higher megapixel count. I think it might be like 8x optical zoom. Battery pack explodes. Yeah, someone should clip that. If someone clips that and adds the Curb Your Enthusiasm music, I will retweet it. Thank gosh you are not making us have to extort us into subscribing to type in your chat. Oh, I could do that. That's a good idea. Maybe I should. Doesn't everyone just love extortion? Hmm. I never understood the reverse wireless charging leaks. iPhones can do it. It's a software lock. Maybe they found a way to make it more efficient. Maybe. Yeah, that's what it's gonna be. The Trump edition phone. Okay, I don't want to get political because I want to have fun today, and politics are always sad and depressing. But I think the president's favorite color is red. I don't think it would be orange. With that being said, Apple, if you want to avoid tariffs and you want to thank the president a million times, bring back product red. That's all I'm saying. We should have red iPhones again. Not for any political alignment, just because red colors are cool. Tariff orange. That's great. Please call it tariff orange. That would be that would be fantastic. Do you think 512 gig lowest storage tier will happen anytime soon? Probably not, but I would say don't be excited for that, because most likely if they do get 512 gig as the default storage, it will probably be because the prices are really high. I think that's the only way they up the storage, is if the price goes up. So if we get 512 gigs by default, it's probably going to be because the phone is like $1,400 or $2,000. Like maybe the folding iPhone will be 512 gigs or more, but that's probably going to be a $2,000 phone. We need to go back to the days, Drew, where you're telling all of your YouTube subscribers to unsubscribe for such a trend. This needs to be brought back. That's it. Everybody, unsub. Yeah. Any Apple TV Plus trailers you'd want to see? No. If I want to watch movie trailers, I would go on YouTube and look for them. I don't. If I'm going to an iPhone event, we all know it's the iPhone event, as much as Apple likes to pretend like we don't know. We're having a special event. Anything could happen. We know. Okay, we know it's an iPhone event. I want to talk about hardware mostly. I want to hear about iPhones, Apple Watches. The other kind of mystery rumor that's been kind of alluded to is a cheaper Apple Watch, even cheaper than the SE, like a plastic one that's oriented towards kids. I think that's been rumored before, um, but it never ended up happening. But if that happens today, I'd be kind of curious about that. I'd like to see the Apple. How cheap can the Apple Watch get? I don't know. Might be kind of interesting. See what features they take out and what price point they can hit. If they can get an Apple Watch under 200, that would be pretty impressive. Um, MKBHD posted a video with cameras in the theater. What? Can I see that? What happens if I tap? Oh, this is all screwed up. Hold on. There we go. Let's do a quick. Oh, the event's starting soon. I better put my headphones on. Thanks. Thanks, Twitter. He does this every year, by the way. Shot on Pixel 10. What did Mark? Best seat in the house. Oh, they're in the Steve Jobs Theater? That's interesting. Usually they're outside. Okay. Event's starting. They're playing music. Can't show that. Can't show that. Okay. We're back. Putting my headphones in. Here we go. Once they start talking, I will read the annotations so that you guys can sync up. Devlin says it's its birthday today. Happy birthday, Devlin. Thanks for spending it with us. Apple has the greatest gift of all for you. A phone bill. We're going to start with the TV Plus trailer. I am actually really excited to see the Lost Bus, which is coming to Apple TV Plus, because that's a movie about a wildfire that happened like very close to my house. Marquez is an Apple shill. I think Marquez has made his fair share of mistakes, but I listened to Waveform and I think he's honestly pretty objective. Like he likes Pixels, he likes Androids, but he'll critique them when deserved, and I think he's pretty fair towards Apple. Hot take. That's my hot take. I think he praises when they do something well, and he critiques them when they deserve it. That's my hot take. Design is not just what it looks like and feels like. Design is how it works. Steve Jobs. Ooh, we're starting with a Jobs quote and a HomePod. Was that Apple Music? We're showing off MagSafe. So this is clearly not a 16E. We're showing off. Oh, I get it. There's circles. Circles everywhere. Apple invented the circle. Did you guys know that? The digital crown. Wow. There was no circle. That's just a Mac Mini or an Apple TV. Sorry. Face ID. Oof. Oh, God. I'm getting spam texted. Don't text me. I'm watching the new iPhone event. Um, that confused me because I have AirPods on and then it made the AirPods sound. I was like, did it get disconnected? Okay, there's ovals. I can't believe they actually zoomed in on that liquid glass toggle switch. I thought that was so stupid. Just move the button side to side. We don't have to render 15 light refractions every time we toggle something. Here we are. Tim! Please don't talk about the president, Tim. Good morning. Apple Park. Apple design has always been fundamental to who we are and what we do. For us, design goes beyond just how something looks or feels. Design is also how it works. Its philosophy guides everything we do, including the products we're going to introduce today and the experiences they provide. Okay, you guys in sync now? That's an old phone, Tim. That was a diagonal camera. Mm, so helpful. All liquid glass is made in the US. Was this shot on an iPhone? It looks pretty good. Huge day of announcements about AirPods and Apple Watch and taking the biggest leap ever for iPhone. Really? Biggest leap ever, huh? Here we go. AirPods Pro 3 incoming. On YouTube, it's behind, huh? Interesting. Magical user experience. Yeah, we know how AirPods work. I'm having my Mandarin now. Oh, yeah. With what? What? I don't know who is facing that, but I will. You think this was shot on an iPhone? Blah, blah, blah. There's the heart rate. Doo, doo. I can dance because I'm wearing headphones. No, mine would have definitely fallen out. Wow, they look exactly the same. That's so cool. See how cropped in this is? I think this is the new telephoto lens. Now I'm really curious what this was shot on. Hey, I was just there yesterday. The Golden Gate. I just drove down that last month. Lombard Street. Wait, we're filming an event at the Apple store? Whoa. Hi, Kate. Cool. Is this different? Apparently. Vocals. All right. Mm-hmm. Oh, even more ear tips. Can I just get the tips? Twice as good. I'm glad they're Kate's favorite. 4 times more. That's incredible. I can't imagine how much quieter these get. Must have, huh? Hmm. Okay. That's more than I expected. They said it's twice as good as AirPods Pro 2. Oh no, not Apple Intelligence. Get out of my store. They're still using that Siri voice. uh, Read my phone. I can't remember how many times I've seen this demo. Mm. Of course, they can only do this on the new AirPods, right? What's this song? Do, 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 do. What? 5 different. Oh my god. They're smaller, huh? More ear scanning. Why would I get Beats now? Take that, Power Beats. Jules, I can't match your energy right now. She's too happy. Don't get sued by Massimo. Hmm. 50 million. Wow. Huh. So I don't need a watch? Is that what you're saying? He's not wearing an Apple Watch. Wow. I'm surprised they're okay advertising this. Yeah, I walked 100 feet. I forgot about Workout Buddy, to be honest. You don't need the rings, though. Thanks for making it easier to not wear an Apple Watch. How long? Oh, 8 hours is great with ANC. This is pretty good. This was better than I expected, to be honest. Wow. All right. What do they cost? The battery life is super important to me, so I'm surprised there's not like a new chip on the inside. Same price. Nice. That's great. Next week. That was great. Good job. Oh, he's at the theater now. We're moving quick. 13 minutes. 13 minutes in. Thank you for moving quick, Tim. And if you don't buy one, you don't care about your health. Yeah, and if you wait a couple months, you can get AirPods Pro 3 for 140, I'm sure, on Amazon. Oh boy, here we go. Here's the guilt tripping emails. Tim Cook, you saved my life. I'm gonna just make up stories so I can get into one of these events. Why is that photo in here? Can we get these guys some better cameras? Mm-mm. Oh, blood oxygen, you say? Massimo. Hmm? Uh oh. He stayed right there. Maybe it's that nose piercing. Sorry. How'd you lose your phone, dude? Ping your phone. Oh no. Get off your phone. He's not wearing AirPods. Dang it. I'm happy everybody's alive. So here's a new color. I'm not wearing mine either. What's Stan cooking? Wow. So the bezels are thinner now. The brand new design. It looks the same. Onyx glass sucks. You need the sapphire glass. Hmm. How does that compare to sapphire? Huh. 5G. Only took 5 years. It's a little too excited. Yeah, the numbers haven't changed yet, have they? Liquid time. Oh, that's confusing. Ooh. I'm gonna download so much. So fast. Some bull? Hey, I've been there. Oh, is it time? We finally getting blood pressure monitoring? It's like most of the planet. Uh-oh. Hmm. So it doesn't actually give you your blood pressure. It just says you might have high blood pressure. That was an interesting projection. In a year, we'll catch 1 million people. Ah. No FDA approval. Interesting. Sleep? What's that? I thought they were going to have actual blood pressure monitoring. I can tell when I don't sleep well to stumble. Can that be a ring on the activities? I wonder what my score would be. Probably terrible. 5 million nights? That's so long. To wear your watch all night. Wait, is this a Series 11 feature? What's this available on? Oh, finally. It's the first time ever, I think. They've never upped the regular Apple Watch battery. Finally. Titanium is still around, huh? Those are new colors? Oh, the bands. I see. I like the battery life got up. What? What the hell? What's the horse jumping out of a window? I like the battery boost. There's no new chip though? The SE. How cheap can we get? I'm pretty impressed so far, I gotta say. Ooh, most affordable. That looks metal. Okay, it's still the S10. When did that chip come out? Oh, wow. They get always on now? Probably not the battery boost. Oh, no one's going to use that. They do the prices at the end, by the way. But you might have blood pressure, so get a Series 11. Oh. Yeah, that was a Series 8 feature. I know a lot of gals that like that feature. Wait, so the S10 gets sleep score? Don't do that. Do not play music out of your Apple Watch speaker. Come on. Why do they get sleep score with the S10? That means same battery as always. I'm really curious about the sleep score, if that coming to other watches. Normal use. Okay, no plastic. Vitals. Oh. What does it cost? That's the important thing. Update SE and series? What? It said it got sleep score and it has the S10 chip, so why wouldn't other watches with the S10 get sleep score? What's he? Eugene, why are you way out there? Get down. Is he lost? How are the bezels? I can't tell. Oh, I thought he said dead underwater. Whether you're dead underwater. Whoa. Bezels are the same. Oh, no, they're not. So it's thinner. Can I get a comparison? They still look kind of chunky. Huh. Well, that's nice. Oh, thank God. I can't wait for Real Steel 2. Whoa. Look, Europe. Fire. I am on fire. Someone help. I'm not wearing my Apple Watch at the moment. I keep saying that. 2 years for free. What is it? It's been 2 years since Satellite came out. What does it cost? Oh, 42. Wow. What? They 3D print titanium? That's kind of cool. Wow. I'm impressed. Ooh. Largest display. How much? I want to see a side by side. How much thinner are those bezels? We got to see the pricing, Stan. Come on. What happened to Kevin? Yeah, I guess it's time for iPhone. But what's the price? Is it just the same across the board? Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's not that impressive. Okay, same prices across the board. I really want a side by side. I want to see how much thinner the bezels got. All right, guys, it's iPhone time. Let's do it. Terraphone. I'm glad the Series 11 got a battery boost, though. That's taken them long enough. SC was 250. Unlike, really? Well, I've never done four before. Probably start with the 17. Wow, we've never made anything like this before. I've never seen anything like that. It's so unique. It's so different. I like the thin bezels though. That looks very thin. Super, super thin. Oh, it's unlike anything we've ever created. That's great. Hey, there's your name. Okay, they're not dropping the numbers. Dang it. I was hoping we wouldn't hear 17. That would have been cool. It's a new design. GTA 6? What? The bezels are a little thinner, yeah. Great. Wow. Sage. Uh, so it's the same screen as the 16 Pro, basically. Yeah. Nice. Promotion! Oh, they finally just did it. Thank you. Oh, it goes down to 10? Awesome. Thank you. Finally. Just, it's straight up. What? It does get always on. Whoa. I think the rumors were wrong. 3,000 nits? Whoa. That's great. Oh, that's awesome. I'm impressed. I'm impressed. That's way better than I expected, honestly. That's great. Wow. Always on is now. There's got to be a price hike, right? There's no way. Yeah, this is basically a 16 Pro without the telephoto lens. Better scratch resistance. Ooh, anti-reflective on the regular? Wow. This is great. I'm so surprised so far, honestly. Wow. Okay, gets a new chip. Thank you. Anti-reflective and scratch resistant. Dang. Promotion. I can't believe they actually did it. I was not expecting that at all. They surprised me. Oh, good. Apple Intelligence. They actually did it. I'm surprised. Wow, they actually compared it to last year. Everyone start praying for no price hike. Come on. Please. Please, Lord Tim. I mean, Jobs. Dear Steve Jobs. Let this be an $800 phone. Oof. I want a 17 plus. That would be great. Come on. Yeah. Please. Please, no price hike. Oh, I'm scared. Please don't up the price. It's the same. Okay. So slightly more than. Really? What's the peak wattage? Really? Megan. Playing Bikini by Nick Leon. Yeah, it's a 3 nanometer chip. Whoa, 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 whoa. Telephoto? What? I I'm lost now. Wait, wait. So is it an ultra wide that crops in? Wait. I'm confused. So there's no ultra wide? No, it is ultra wide, but they crop in on the. Oh, they replaced. So it's just ultra wide and telephoto, and then the regular is just cropped in. Oh, that's weird. I don't know how I feel about that. The base didn't have telephoto, did it? Oh no, I'm confused. It's the same. Okay, it's an ultra wide and a regular. They're just saying you can crop in to get telephoto. Never mind. That was a weird way to announce it. Oh, what? Center stage? Oh, okay. Probably gonna be compressed. Hmm. What? The sensor is square. Oh. Yeah, that's just cropping. Oh, really? Oh. That's interesting. You don't have to rotate the phone. It uses AI. I like that. That's handy. I'm actually really liking the regular 17. Wide selfie. Huh. Because they're cropping in a little so they can stabilize. I see. They be cooking. Apple Intelligence. I'm very impressed. Dual fusion. It uses AI. What's it cost? Oh, it starts at 256 gig. There's got to be a price hike. Come on. 256 gigs by default? What does it cost? Oh boy. Wow. What's the price? Tell me. I gotta know. I gotta know. Ah, they're not gonna tell us. Crap. Just tell us. Oh, it's dark out. They're gonna do the pros. Oh, come on. I want the price. The 17 is actually really good. Dang. Oh, boy. It's the Air. Here it. We're doing the Air. Wow. Oh, they polished the outside. You can't balance it. I hate the corner radius of the camera bump. It doesn't match. Oh, it's titanium. Somehow I missed that. I thought it was aluminum. It's very shiny. So it's titanium, but it looks like steel. You can't be Johnny Ive. You will never be Johnny. Ooh. It's so shiny. I want to know the price. Oh, don't drop it like that. Oh, really? The most durable? Hmm. Wait, they're calling it a plateau now? Cameras? Are you sure about that? Plural? Remarkable, huh? There's only one camera. It already looks bent. What do you mean you stretched it? What do you mean the Power of Pro? Who is this voice? It's the eye. You get it? Ah, that's so funny. Here's John Prosser. Oh, no number. I like that there's no number. It's cool that it's titanium. I don't like the corner radius though of the plateau. That's what they're calling it. Cameras, front and back. So the plateau is holding the front camera too? Yeah! Next CEO! Turnus. Ah, thought it'd be 5.5. Was this also shot on iPhone? They have good lighting. Wow. Well, the 17 got it, I guess. I shouldn't be surprised. Good display. Put it up the shield. It's never been on the back. Shiny. Mm. Oh, the silicon's in the chip is now in the plateau and the speaker. Bend strength, huh? You guys do that? What? Well, there's been like 3 light gold. Find it interesting. He said the speakers in the plateau. It's the most durable iPhone, huh? Cloud white. Bro, looks like the nerd emoji. Oh, it gets the Pro chip? Wow. I thought it wouldn't get the Pro chip. Yeah, that makes sense. I'm scared about the price. They didn't say what the price was. That's not a good sign. Hmm. There's a pro in the air. AI. Here we go. You can mine crypto on your thin iPhone. I'm surprised they didn't say how light it is. Three times. Wow. Okay, come on. MacBook Pro levels. Maybe the Intel one. Oh, there's a new chip and one. They have another chip. So it's not the C1 chip? Oh, it still has both. Oh, it's not the C1. Oh, great. we we destroyed the 16E. Wow. The 16E was a bad phone. Interesting. Hmm. Interesting. C1X. They're still using the X terminology. Like the ultra wide lens. Oh, fusion camera. Right. So you can zoom in. Beautiful. This is our camera system. Yeah. I'm sure it's a good camera, but it's not a second lens. Come on. Don't call it don't call it that. It's called zooming. Unless it's an ultra wide. How do you know they're delicious? I'm scared about pricing. Usually they say the pricing after the phone, and they didn't say the pricing. I think there's a price hike. That's why the storage went up. People really don't like rotating phones, do they? Like how she didn't move. She just blinks. Have you seen this before? Stop me if you've seen this. Apple Watch prices are the same, but Dolby Vision. No 8K. Oh no. We took out the tray. John throwing physical sim under the bus. So other countries aren't going to like this phone. That tiny little SIM card is the reason my phone is twice the thickness. Oh, there's no SIM tray. Interesting. Yeah, how do you compare it? Define great. Compare it to something. It uses AI. What's that mean? Not a good sign. They're not comparing it to anything. It has good battery. Oh, the bumper case? You can add more battery on the back. Now it's just as thick. Oh, that's not good. My phone gets like 100 hours without a case. Uh, I'm skeptical now. Mm-hmm. At least that clear case looks normal. Oh, they're doing bumpers again? It's cool to see the bumper cases again. I'm sorry. This strap your phone. Just put it in your frickin' pocket, dude. They had to bring back. Is it 256 gig? It doesn't say. I don't like the phrase all day battery. Yeah, can I just buy the MagSafe battery again? They're not saying the price. That's not good. I'm nervous. They said 40-hour video playback with a battery case. That's not good. This phone gets 100 hours without a case. You rebuilt it? All right. Let's see it. Usually they don't wait till the end for all the iPhone prices. So we got rid of titanium. Someone else who's not Johnny Ive. Aluminium. I see the plateau. Ooh, orange. Wow, the colors were right. Here we go. Unibody, of course. Oh, wow. The aluminum is way more than I expected. Looks shiny. tariff phone. Oh, here we go. Therm. There's your invite image. They didn't call it a vapor chamber. That looks pretty sick. Biggest battery. They called it a thermal chamber, did they? What kind of test is this? Throw it. Why are you throwing? Apple, stop destroying things. That's wasteful. Carbon neutral, remember? Wow. There's actually a seam. They really did it. It looks exactly like the leaks. Yeah. Blue again? The orange looks kind of cool. Oh no. Jaws is going to tell us the pricing, isn't he? Because he's the marketing guy. He's like, I don't know. I feel like Jaws is what's wrong with Apple. I don't think there's new iPads today. That's next month. The seam is hideous. Yeah, you always think it's ugly and then you buy it in a year. Hey, Jaws. Wow. The font. Man. It doesn't look that thick. Oh, wow. They actually called it a vapor chamber. It's a liquid cooled. But the rest of the phone will probably get warm. I'm surprised he said vapor chamber. This is what you can't do with titanium. Of course. Yeah, titanium's stupid. How comfortable. Cosmic. Ah, who saw that coming? This is Apple's way of saying camera bump. So it's a battery boosting technique. Huh? So you don't get C1X? So that makes me think C1X isn't that good. Lots of accelerators. That's good. Then last year, that's pretty good. Oh, there's not a black one? What? How could they? Maybe they're saving that. There's got to be a black one. Come on. Do you play this game, Jaws? Maybe they're saving black for later. It had camera control, didn't it? There's no camera control. Oh my god. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong side. Never mind. Huh. Stronger. Show the sign. It has camera control. Come on. Oh, it's a ceramic bag? I hope it still has MagSafe. All right. Yeah, you should have done that from the beginning, please. What? Oh, maybe I've got video playback mixed up. 39 is 2 hours more. All day battery. Yeah, I mean, it's the most aluminum they've used since the iPhone 6. Kind of chunky. Yeah, it's a square sensor, I remember. Hey, MagSafe without a case. That's a good sign. Mm. Wow, it's a bright orange, isn't it? This is like having 9 cameras. Whoa. Wow. They get to call that optical? I'll be surprised if the price doesn't go up. It's so flattering. Pomegranate. When they say optical, they just mean it's 12 megapixels, I guess. They have weird definition for optical zoom. So the lens is actually a 4x instead. Wasn't it 5x before? It's just 48 megapixels at 4x. Ah. There's 8 lenses in your pocket. I think it's a 4x optical. They say if it's 12 megapixels, then it counts as yeah, these are okay, I guess. Is that Timothy Chalamet? What am I looking at here? She's judging me. Yeah. Are we getting 8K? Hmm. Hey, wow, the whole thing. How cool is that? These are all the same as before. Yes. The camera rig. Another raw. Again. People ask for that? What? Genlock? What kind of transition? Can you demo this? Oh gosh. Look at all this. Are they gonna do 28 years later soon? It's called the plateau now. Tech woven. It's not fine woven. Oh, the clear cases are horrible. The strap is so silly. Ugh. If you buy 50 of these. Sorry, I'm opening my Ritz. Oh boy. What's the price? There's only 3 colors. I can't. Oh, Marquez is going to be pissed. Oh no. Mm. I called it. No 8K. Even with all the sensors. I, Marquez is going to be so mad there's no black one. Mm. The 8K is stupid, but 8K is not useful. Mm. I bet you this commercial was not shot on iPhone. Why does the clear case have that giant white part? They moved the Apple logo so you can see it even when filming. Yeah, maybe matte black in the spring. Oh boy. Let's hear it. Yes! Same price! Wow. Yikes. Hey, it's higher. Yeah. A little bit higher. Oh, just on the Max you get 2 terabytes. iPhone 17 is amazing. Dang. What? Mm-mm. I can't believe there's no black. People have been asking for 2 terabytes for a while. Mm. Mm. Wow. Okay. That's that's a really good value for the regular 17. Mm. Yeah, what's the 2 terabyte iPhone? Okay. I got to admit, I'm pretty impressed, guys. There's a lot of pleasant surprises. Shot on iPhone. All right. I can show my screen now. Let me do a presenter overlay here. That event was not even 90 minutes. I love how quick it was. You see me, I'm down here. Okay. Wow. Yeah, the leaks were very accurate, honestly, this year. iPhone 16e should have had a price decrease. Thank goodness. What do you mean they didn't talk about the Pro Max? It's just the same except with 2 terabytes. I don't know how you were disappointed. I don't know what you were expecting. Just gonna decide between Air and Pro. So this is all that you did. Don't look at that. Okay. This might have been the star of the show. Bigger 6.3-inch display with thinner bezels. Same price with 120 hertz and 3,000 nits with 256 gig as the default. This is awesome. It looks very familiar. It's not a new look, but the specs at least are great. And you can get it in black, unlike the Pros. I don't know what were you expecting if this disappointed you? No, the Pro Max has not always had more differences. Why is 2 terabytes only on the Max? Probably a part simplicity thing. They don't have to make more models, and they probably figured out most people getting the max storage were getting the max size. Yeah, every phone has ProMotion. And the always on display. Man, they really knocked it out of the park. They're more durable. But they don't go to 1 terabyte on the regular 17, so that might bother some people. The front-facing camera is pretty cool. I like that you can take landscape selfies without moving the phone. That's actually kind of helpful. Is the Air disappointing? It could be. They didn't go into very much detail, in my opinion, with the battery life. Interesting that they made a C1X chip, which they said is way faster than the C1, but then they didn't put the C1X on the Pro. Yeah, these look clean. That's for sure. Very shiny edges. I don't like the corner radius. Did they discontinue 16, 16 Plus? I doubt it. They're probably still for sale at a discount. And the N1 chip, which is a new Wi-Fi and Bluetooth thing. Hopefully that works well. There's no 17 Plus. Yeah, I need the compare page is what I need. Yeah, see, 16 and 16 Plus are right here for... Oh, it's not done yet. Price. Oh, look, it's broken. Price sticky. Price display smart. Price display month. Phone, Air, iPhone. Let's come down here. Compare it with a... Why are there two 16Es? Let's compare it with my phone, the 16 Pro Max. Ceramic shield, not on the back. Same water resistance. Wow, they're leaving out a lot of... Oh, what? This is broken. The compare page is not working. Hello? Hey, it's Tyler Forte. How's it going? Good to see you. All right, here's my current phone. Here's the 17 Pro Max. Here's the Air. Okay, good. This is what I'm looking for. Does it have MagSafe? No macro photography on the Air. That's interesting because I thought they said they brought that to the regular 17. Still USB 2 on $1,000 phone. That's kind of nutty. Yike. MagSafe wireless charging compatible with MagSafe cases. Okay, so they didn't remove MagSafe. That's good. So it still has the magnets. 256 by default. That's good. Did the Air surprise you? Kind of. I like that the peak brightness went up to 3,000 nits. That's great. The ProMotion surprised me, honestly. I thought they were going to do 60 hertz again. P68. Oh, let's go down to the actual battery stats. It's 27 hours without the case. I like how they list the MagSafe battery case. How much is that case? So it's 39 hours on the 17 Pro Max, which is pretty good. 33 hours on my current phone. G2. Did they get faster charging? 50%. Oh, interesting. So the iPhone Air did not get the faster charging. So on the 17 and 17 Pro, it's 50% in 20 minutes with a 40-watt adapter. Up to 50% charge in 30 minutes with 30-watt adapter. Interesting. So does that mean it supports 40-watt charging? Series 10 has S10. Do you mean the 11? Peak brightness doesn't matter. I think it does, especially when I'm outside. Who told you there was gonna be a 17 plus? I know, Big Truck Review Motorsports has been asking for 2 terabytes for so long. It's funny that they actually list the MagSafe battery in the tech specs. So let's compare that to something else, like a regular iPhone. Where's the regular 16? Yeah. So it's a longer than a 6.1 inch iPhone 16. So that's good for video playback. It's actually not a terrible battery then. How about the Plus? It's about the same. 27 hours, 27 hours. Streamed 24, slightly less when streaming. So the connectivity, I almost forgot. Good morning! So what phone are you getting, Drew? I think this is the best iPhone release since the 13 Pro. Yeah, I'm not planning on upgrading, but I'm actually very pleasantly surprised with the regular 17. This regular 17 seems like a great deal now. Boy, if you think this is the most boring Apple event ever, then I don't know what to tell you because those last couple years were rough. Yeah, I don't know what you were expecting if you found this underwhelming. This surpassed all my expectations. Oh, what? Oh, studio quality 4 mic array. Yeah, right. Compare it to my phone here. What is the main reason to buy Pro Max now? It's always been the camera. The display was kind of another thing, but it's mostly been a camera focus. So best battery life in an iPhone. Not a lot of changes with the display, I guess, on the Pros other than they're brighter. Deep blue and silver. I can't believe they don't have a black. 8K video is stupid. I'm sorry. That's just a fact. Cosmic. Of course there's a Pro Max. It's right here. I'm looking right at it. What do you mean there's no reason? You can say you have no reason, but don't act like there's no difference. It's the best battery life. Let's compare it with the regular Yeah, so if you want two cameras and a screen bigger than this one, you have to get a Pro. Air supporting USB 2 is disappointing. Yeah, but it's a thin phone. I don't think those people are techie. Mm-hmm. Only releasing 3 Pro colors to not eat into air orders. Maybe. Sorry, I'm hungry. The biggest display is on the Pro. The Air is not as big a screen. Oh, the grams. What's the weight difference? That's what I was curious about. Because I feel like that matters more than the thickness. All have good display. No macro. Oh, yeah, no spatial photos. That makes sense. There's only one lens. What do they mean MagSafe battery pack is only for air? Oh, did they design it in a way that it doesn't fit with the other ones? That's kind of stupid. Reverse charging is also a dumb feature. What is a smaller dynamic island going to do? What are you going to do with your extra 2 pixels of screen real estate? Can't help to praise how good the Air looks compared to the atrocious Pro line. If the battery's decent, I would definitely be my pick. It seems okay, at least on paper. Guys, everyone with Android phones never uses reverse wireless charging. It's a useless feature. Eugene, thank you for the super chat. Can you expand what new features regular 17 got? It got a bigger display, 6.3 inches, up from 6.1 with thinner bezels. It got a ProMotion display, always on display, a brighter display, 3000 nits. Basically the same camera. They kind of announced it in a weird way, but it's essentially two 48 megapixel sensors. And I think it's better battery life, right? Let me compare. 17 to 16 for the same price. Oh, look at that Sage one. Boy, this phone is calling Randy's name. Everyone thinks the Pros are ugly every year, and then they end up buying one. What are they thinking? Everyone's so upset by the color. I'm confused. Don't get me wrong. It's kind of a lighter black. Um, yeah, it is a better battery life. Oh yeah, the front-facing camera now is center stage, and you can do landscape without rotating the phone, which is kind of cool. Wow, that's crazy that they made the MagSafe battery pack not compatible with everything else. How stupid is that? Sorry, I'm willing to forgive it because I'm so impressed with the regular iPhone 17. That's great. And it's a faster charging one too. Hey, oh, this is a 16. 256 gig by default as well, so that's a huge win across the board. Um, chip upgrade, so obviously more stabilization. Didn't Randy just say he's done buying non-pro iPhones, but then this just came out? He has to get it now. He has no choice. Yeah, the regular 17 I think kind of stole the show in my opinion. I think it's way cooler than the Air, honestly. Um, I don't know. The Air's kind of cool. I should give it some credit that they actually didn't compromise the battery. Oh, let's talk about speakers. They didn't mention that. Where is that? Is it actually where is that? Camera chip. Size and weight. Okay, so 5.82 ounces versus an iPhone 16. Okay, well, that's not fair. 16 is smaller. Let's compare it to the Plus. Okay, so the iPhone 16 Plus was 7 ounces. The iPhone Air is 5.8 ounces. Let's compare that to like a really small phone, like a 13 mini. So a 13 mini is still lighter than the Air, but it is substantially smaller. So it's definitely not setting any records with weight. Hmm. Why is the dynamic island so important to people? Guys, even when they shrink it, it's going to be like 2 microns smaller. Thank you for the super chat, 89 Tech. Is that a weed wallpaper on the green 17? Uh, Yes, absolutely. That is straight up marijuana if I've ever seen it. Finji, thank you for the super chat. From titanium to aluminum in an ugly design with three lame colors, have never been this upset with angry. Wow, I think you guys are dead wrong. I'm sorry, titanium is stupid. They literally explained that because of the aluminum, they can dissipate heat like 20 times better. So you get extremely good thermal performance, especially with the vapor chamber, which was not on the 16 Pros. Man, guys, don't turn me back into a normal Apple sheep again. I'm going to have to defend some stuff. You guys are making me want to buy a Pro out of spite. I don't need a new phone. My 16 Pro Max is fine, but I can't believe you guys don't like this. It looks cool. Look at the wallpaper. It literally spells Pro. The MagSafe wallets are still fine woven. Aluminum was always the best, I agree. From the beginning, it was less fingerprinty, it was lighter, and it was better at thermals. Titanium has almost zero advantages. It's more expensive, it's worse thermally, and it's heavier. Titanium is dumb on a phone. I'll say it again. Do you think iPhone add MagSafe battery pack will work on other phones? No, I think that's what everyone's telling me in the chat. You guys are tempted me now. I'm not making a decision here. Again, I don't really make a decision on whether or not I'm keeping a phone until I have it. Oh, and they added anti-reflective coating. Yes, I forgot about that. That's on the regular 17 too. That's new. Where did they include that display? I don't see it on this list. Wonder how noticeable it is. Same water resistance. They're not budging on that. Hardware accelerated ray tracing. That was on the 16, right? Yeah, okay. Yeah, new design ugly. Some people can't be satisfied. Bruh, it was always ugly. Are you trying to tell me? Look, let's get them next to each other. You trying to tell me this is pretty? Look how big that camera bump is. I remember. Y'all are gonna get over it. Wow, I feel so nostalgic now. Bruh, how many times do I have to say this, sippy cup? The iPhone 12 had reverse wireless charging. They software locked it to the MagSafe battery case because putting two phones next to each other to charge when the magnets don't align and you lose power on both ends is dumb. Then you can't use your phone as it's draining battery and it would charge slowly. What if you want 2 terabytes on the Pro? Then get the Max. It's pretty simple. Oh, let's compare the weight, actually. I'm curious. Because it is thicker, I heard. See, this is what I like is right after the event and you find out all these little details that they don't mention. Wi-Fi 7, that's all the same. Interesting. Oh no, Bluetooth, we went from Bluetooth 5.3 to Bluetooth 6. That's good. Can we compare this to the Air? Yeah, it does not do millimeter wave, does it? It just does sub 6 gig. I see. So that's why they didn't do the C1X chip on the Pros. Maybe the Pros will sell bad compared to the 17. That's the real question here now is like how important was ProMotion? We're not really going to know until we actually get the sales data. 17 Pro has USB 3 speeds, of course, because the 16 Pro and 15 Pro did. The square camera sensor is my favorite new feature. Really? Is that a feature? What was I looking for? There was something, wasn't there? Oh, yeah, weight. Where did the weight go? Sorry, I'm lost. 8.2 ounces. Wow. So it is heavier, even though they switched to aluminum. That overall depth, yeah, it's thicker. We went from 8.25 to 8.75 millimeters. I think that makes it the thickest ever. I don't know. Let's compare. Oh, no. So the 14s were still heavier, but they were thinner. See, this is why you shouldn't use steel. Oh, they removed the 256 gig iPhone 16. That's interesting. The Air has titanium frame. I did notice that. They did say that in the event, which is cool. So it's not the heaviest iPhone ever, but it is the thickest, I think. It's compared to the 15. Yeah. 8.2 ounces. Compare it to 13. Yeah. I had the 13 Pro Max for over a year. That was a heavy phone. My mom has a 13 Pro Max now, and she complains about how heavy it is. but it was thinner. So yeah, it is a little bit of a chunk. That with a case is gonna be fun. You know, the deep blue is so deep, it's almost black. You can only get 512 gig option on the 16 plus, not the regular size. What? What are you guys talking about? Air all day battery life, then they didn't want to put a number on during the presentation, is up to 27 hours video. Yeah, I saw that. It's about the same as the 16 plus, I think. Maybe slightly worse when streaming. So it's not look how it looks a lot smaller here, doesn't it? Like cloud white. It's light as a cloud. Light as a feather. If we go down to battery here. Oh, this is going to be a long video, I can tell. Oh, the speakers. That's what we were looking for. Did they mention that here? Video, camera. I don't even know where you find the speaker section. Is it just in this random, like, feature section? Do I need a Command F? Is that how desperate I'm getting? I can't just scroll for it anymore. Peace of mind. What the heck? Oh, safety. I don't really see it. Let me see. Speaker. Not found. Huh. What do you mean less battery life? AirPods Pro got a battery boost. Yeah. AirPods Pro 3 were announced. They're the same price. They have twice as good ANC as AirPods Pro 2, 4 times as good ANC as the normal ones. They said they improved the audio quality, which is great, and they have heart rate monitors. Yeah, I did do. I typed in speakers, and there's nothing with Command F. Where are you guys hearing about the speakers? What if I do stereo? They only have stereo recording. They don't mention the speakers. There's speakers on the bottom. Well, there's holes on the bottom. Those could be microphones. I'm sure there's holes on the bottom, but that doesn't mean that they're active. I know, the ANC is really good, which is why I'm impressed. It's a mono speaker like the leaks. Go to the product page. Well, it wasn't working before, but let me try. Where's technical details? Do you mean tech specs? The speaker thing might really... Wow, this is confusing. Okay. 4 lenses in your pocket. Can this be stopped? I feel like this is literally a lie. I'm just saying. It's not a tech page. There's Explore. Tech specs. I need the proof. Power and battery. Well, see, they're referencing both as built-in mics. Yeah, built-in speaker and built-in microphone. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's the giveaway. 1 speaker. That would annoy the crap out of me personally. Maybe they think people are watching more videos and stuff in portrait mode anyway. $16E versus Air. Well, they're still using titanium in some way. Yeah, the holes don't really tell you anything, but this is, I think, where's that? This is what gives it away. Might even tweet that because it was so hard to find. Marcus Brownlee. A 17 Plus would definitely threaten 17 Pro Max. Well, maybe, but the 16 Plus was not selling that well, so that's probably why they stopped making it anyway. I'm just going to tweet that out real quick. iPhone Air has one speaker, not stereo. There, just so everybody knows. They didn't like the 16 Plus outselling all it. No one, the 16 Plus was selling horribly. That's why they stopped making. Maybe it's different with promotion. I'm not sure. Apple Watch Series 11 was pretty good. It's pretty much the same design, but finally, after a billion years, they actually increased the battery life on the regular watch. They haven't done that since the original. And it's the same price, which is cool. The sleep score thing is a little confusing because they can clearly do it on the SE. So I don't see why they can't add that to older watches. 24 hours instead of 18, which is good. I thought they said the speaker is in the plateau on the Air. I guess it holds the speaker, but it's probably front facing. Let's see. I'm curious how that one speaker sounds. Do I want to go to a text box? I was hoping for a holographic iPhone Pro. That would be silly. AirPods only have H2. Yeah, but they got better sound quality. Maybe there's not a need for a new chip. Still has the blood oxygen sensor. Thank you, Massimo. It's funny that they didn't update the brightness, but they did on the iPhone. 2000 nits. That's pretty much what they changed. I mean, it looks the same, right? Can charge a little faster. I am so out of the loop. I should compare the two. Here we go. This is what they don't want me to do. Compare the two. Look at these gorgeous new colors. Yeah, same brightness. We're looking for differences. S10, S10. What was the 9? Is it also? Yeah, okay. Same chip. The wrist flick gesture, huh? Didn't have that on the Series 10. Pretty much all identical there. Same Bluetooth, same Wi-Fi, but we have 5G now. Oh, I thought it charged faster, but it's the same. 80% charge in 30 minutes, 80% charge in 30 minutes. I guess the batteries last longer, so maybe they are arguing, yeah. You get more time added back quicker. Where's the section that mentions sleep score? Swim, snorkel. It just says sleep tracking. Oh, it is. Oh, look, sleep score is. Oh, it's right here. Okay, Series 10 and Series 9 get sleep score. How far back does it go? Series 8 gets sleep score. Series 7 gets sleep score. Wow. Just no sleep apnea notifications. Sleep score is that just a new watchOS feature? It's coming to the Series 6. Yeah, not the 5. That's out of updates. Okay, so basically it's a watchOS feature, and they just talked about it like it was a Series 11 feature. The camera on the normal phone is like the 10S with the telephoto. No, they're confusing you because they're saying that it's a telephoto, but it's really just pinching and zooming. Here, I'll show you. That was very confusing. I thought too for a second that they had a telephoto designated lens, but look, if I compare this 16 and the 17, we scroll down. Dual camera system, 48 megapixel fusion main, 48 megapixel fusion made. On the 16, it was a 12 megapixel ultra wide. Now it's a 48 megapixel ultra wide. So all they're saying is that you can zoom in. See, it's the exact same optical zoom as the iPhone 16. So 2x, 2x. They're just confusing with their verbiage. Can you compare the bezels? Oh, that's a good point. We should Look at that. I could not tell, honestly. It's pretty subtle. I wonder if they'll do a side-by-side in here. Maybe they... Sometimes they don't do side-by-sides because they know it doesn't look that noticeable. 42-hour battery life with normal use. That's pretty good. I don't know. Bezels don't look that thin to me for an Ultra. Oh, live translations coming to Pro 2s as well. That's funny. I need to find that. Where's the compare? Sorry, there's so much to compare. Yeah, they don't make it easy to compare here, do they? Can't. They make it all. They're both 49 millimeter. But they don't really show the screen size difference, do they? Let's compare AirPods here. AirPods Pro. Where'd they go? Oh, right there. AirPods Pro 2, AirPods Pro 3. They look almost the same. I guess they changed the shape a little bit. They said it's more comfortable. Better ANC. They talked about audio quality improvements. I'm glad the battery went up. That's important to me. No new Apple TV. What do you want? It's a box. To 30 hours of listening. Oh, wait a second. Oh, that's interesting. On the charging case, the battery shrunk. Up to 24 hours of listening time with the charge case. That's actually worse than AirPods Pro 2. Interesting. I wonder why they did that. So they shrunk the battery in the charge case. So the total charge is less, even though the individual pod time went up. I don't know if I like that. That's not good. This is IP57, whereas before they were IP54. And where's the conversation? Live translation is on AirPods Pro 2. You're right. Okay. What's that say? And later, when paired with Apple Intelligence. Okay, good. I was worried they were going to try to software lock that and act like you could only do it on the new one. Live translation's been done a million times. Pod time. Thank you for catching my vocabulary. Did the price went up on the Pro Max or any of them, or they kept the same prices other than how much storage? The 17 Pro got more expensive, but the Pro Max did not, unless you get the 2 terabyte, because that I'm sure is more expensive, but you didn't have the option before. Let's see how expensive you can get a Pro Max now. I like the orange. I'm sorry. I think it looks good. I don't care what y'all think. $2,000 iPhone unlocked for the first time. How about that? I'll tweet that out. Just kind of headlining. Let's see. $2,000 iPhone unlocked. Okay, where's that battery pack? Is there a solar atomic one? I don't think so. Excuse me. What was the other thing I was going to look at? Oh, the accessories. It looks doo-doo. Where's that stupid battery pack? There it is. iPhone Air. Oh. You are so clever, Apple. You're so smart. Passport Bros business class. Give me 2 terabytes. That is clever. Oh, Mike wants the orange one. Wow. Mike is actually upgrading? What? For the first time in forever? I'm gonna, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm not gonna buy a new iPhone, but I'm gonna eat a Ritz cracker. The Apple Watch SE now has always on, which is nice. I don't like that feature, but some people do. Let's see. I'm just throwing out the highlights here. Made the new MagSafe. What is it called? MagSafe battery. It's not smart anymore. They just battery pack big enough to only fit the iPhone Air. Doesn't fit on any other iPhone. You're so smart. So what does it do? Adds up to 65% additional charge. So you don't even get a full charge out of it. How much is it? I didn't even look. $100. I'm sorry. What was the last one? Was it also $100? The millimeter wave antenna is on the top now, which looks weird AF. Really? I didn't see it. I love the font. I want tech specs. Give me that multiple angles. Where is the millimeter wave? I don't see it. Why does AirPods 3 still have H2 chip? You mean Pro 3? The last one was $100. Okay. $100 and it doesn't even fully charge the phone. It makes it about as thick. Did they show the thickness with it attached? Of course they do it from an angle, so you can't really tell how much thicker it is. Create a problem, sell a solution. That's really funny. I don't see. Where are you guys seeing the millimeter wave on top? Where is that? I want to see it, but oh, I was like, what the heck is the hole? So it's not even a glass back anymore, huh? They said it's ceramic on the back? Yeah, why did they make the clear case not clear? Pro model. I know you said it's on the Pro, but where do you... Oh, it is on the top. Oh! Ew! That's so weird. Oh my god, it has another dynamic island. That is weird. You are right. Okay, I'll agree with you there. This doesn't bother me that much, but I wasn't prepared for that. It has like a baby. It's got the soft spot. Oh my god. Ooh, can I zoom in on that? No, it doesn't let me. It's embarrassed. Maybe if I take a closer look. Don't think I do. The point of the clear case was to put stickers or photos on the back of your phone. No, the clear case was to see what color your phone was. No, there is a clear case for the Pro. It just looks stupid. What's my trade-in value? Just curious. Oh, it's right there. $700. The design is very human. They are proud of that thing on the phone's back. That's why they didn't make the case back clear. What? What are you talking about? Shut up. It's for the Apple Pencil on the dock. Why is there two straps like that? I'm sorry, the straps are just... I can't imagine using them. I like how they still use fine woven here. Where is that clear case? Crossbody straps. I'm gonna strap in here. No wonder they... I don't want millimeter wave if I gotta have the little soft spot on the top. The flashlight always shines through that section. Where is... They don't show. I don't want straps. I want cases. Do I just have to... This is stupid. Just have a case section. What the heck? Product type. 17 Pro Max. These are all chargers. What the heck? I didn't... I am disgusted. hit cross there. Ew! Why would they do that? Why do they make it look like everybody has a battery pack on the back? Has Apple ever not released a silver white iPhone? 17 Pro Max in US has 39-hour battery life. In the physical SIM country, here it's 37. Finally, there's actually an advantage. There's an objective advantage to having eSIM, which is what they should have done from the beginning. What's that new 40-watt charger? So yeah, they have, I think they support up to 40-watt charging now. Let me go back. But that was listed in the battery section. Dynamic power adapter. 60-watt max is designed to deliver up to 60 watts of output. Oh boy, we name every product. Oh, someone check the polishing cloth. Is it compatible? Quick. Where is it? Where is it? Is it compatible? Yes. Quick. No, it's not. Ah! Quick. Oh no. Oh no. This is horrible. We gotta tweet that. That's a tweet right there. Apple. Oh no. It's not compatible. So what do you bet someone's actually gonna believe that anti-reflective coating has a reason for this? Compatible is not compatible with any iPhone 17 or iPhone Air. Beautiful. The polishing cloth requires an update. Or the Apple Watch Series 11. This is horrible. Horrible. Awful. Wow. Yeah, I think in the battery section they said with 40 watts. Dude, I love the 17. The regular 17 is awesome this year. It's really going to be interesting to see if people still buy the Pro, because really the only advantage of the Pro now is cameras. There's no display advantage to the Pros anymore. 17 Pro is the same weight as 14 Pro. Is it? I thought the 14 Pro was heavier. What more do you want from an AirTag, guys? It's an AirTag. There's no silicone one? I thought it was liquid silicone. You mean tech woven? You said 14 Pro and 17 Pro are the same weight? I mean, the 14 Pro is physically smaller, though. Oh, yeah, you're right. Exact same weight. But it is bigger. So it's a bigger display, but the weight's the same. Camera button wasn't mentioned once, as it shouldn't be. AirTag needs to file my text. There's no black one! Ah, there's no matte black! What's Marquez gonna buy? He's probably tweeted something already. No black Pro iPhone. There. What did Marquez say? I'm sure he's tweeted something. Video shooting time. Yeah, no black front is killing me. There you go. Oh. Heartbreaking. It's the same battery life of 16 Pro they could have easily gotten. Is it really? Did Vlad said this is the same battery life? Is that real? Yeah, the channel sponsor D brand gotta come in clutch here. What's my phone? Actually using a D brand. 16 Pro. and Air. Scroll down. Doesn't get the fast charge capability. It says 20 watts. This says 40-watt adapter. You get a 50% charge in 20 minutes. 27, 27, video playback, 22, 22. Okay, yeah, so that's easy to remember. iPhone Air has the same battery life as a 16 Pro. Got it. Where was Air power? I guess the Air battery I expected to be worse, and I thought they might remove MagSafe, but yeah. I don't know. $1,000 for USB 2 speeds is kind of weird. I don't think I'm upgrading. Nothing seems that important to me. If my 16 Pro Max starts overheating all the time because of liquid glass, maybe. But that's kind of scummy of them. Think I should upgrade to 17 regular or 17 Pro coming from a 14 Pro Max? I use the telephoto sometimes, but not much. If not much, then definitely get a 17. I don't think you can go wrong with a regular 17. It's a great phone. Does Air? Yes, the iPhone Air only has one speaker. That's correct. We discovered here. So there's little holes on the bottom, but they're just the microphones. They're not any speakers down there. I would say drop camera control, but my God, you need stereo speakers. That is a very basic. That's been around since the iPhone 7. The iPhone 7 had stereo speakers. That's what we call a big yikes. Yeah, they'll all launch with iOS 26, I assume, right? Why wouldn't they? I don't think they said when iOS 26 is launching. Probably next Tuesday. Fahim and I in the same position. What did he say? Oh, he's on a 14 Pro thinking of upgrading. I say the regular 17 is great, but if you can afford the Pro, it's better. Obviously, better cameras. And that orange. Ooh, they went all in on that orange. These colors are good too, though. You know, like black. Did I mention it's black? They have a black one, unlike the 17 Pro. It just has deep blue. Thank God, silver has been untouched. Everyone can still get a silver. Oh, I'm just very impressed with the regular 17. That is a great deal. I'm glad Mike and I agree on the orange. Because I will go to war over the pros. How does 17 to 16 Pro? Did they both get bigger batteries? Where is it? Oh, it did. Okay. So even the regular 17 Pro got a battery boost up to 33 hours video playback, 30 hours streamed, 8 hours longer, so that's good. Huh. I swear, if they ever do a year with no silver, I will switch to Android on the spot. Would have upgraded if they added back the headphone jack. Oh, shut up. Don't bring that up. You're biased because you ate some orange-colored fruits. Maybe. That might have had an impact. That's true. Oh, my God. You guys, reverse wireless charging is so dumb. But by the way, the iPhone 12 had it. They software locked it because it is dumb. They didn't talk about gaming. I mean, they said the GPU freaking went up. Neural accelerators. It's faster, I promise you. It's better than before. They did talk about gaming. What are you talking about? I remember Jaws mentioning that. Why do you want a comparison of the 16E versus the Air? Just because they both have one camera? I'm about the same battery life. That's funny. They're like in completely different. Like one is $600, one's $1,000. I don't really know why you'd be cross shopping the two. How much less battery do we have in EU because of a physical sim? Someone looked in the tech specs and said it was about a 2-hour battery life difference when it comes to streaming video. They said gaming good. Okay, next. What else do you want? We invented a brand new video game? Like, base iPhone seems like a crazy good value this year compared to the pros. Like, the only thing you get is the zoom camera and some pro camera features. Yeah. Let's compare the pros for a second. What are you missing out on? A little bit better battery. Wow. The regular iPhone 17 has a better battery than the 16 Pro. That's cool. The Air having similar battery as the 16e is pretty reassuring. Yeah. No, honestly, the battery life, at least on paper, sounds pretty good. Maybe in the real world it's worse, but Silk Song natively on iPhone. What? I don't like that the Air doesn't get macro photography. That kind of sucks. I guess it doesn't have an ultra wide. That's the problem. 16 Pro versus 17 Pro. Slightly better zoom, better thermals with the vapor chamber, better front-facing camera with center stage. Yep, the Plus has been killed off a second time. Rest in peace 8 Plus, rest in peace 14 Plus. Where's the millimeter wave cutout for the regular 17? Oh, is it on the top? That's a good question. I love the iPhone 17 so much, but I'm willing to forgive it. Why would they move it? Where was it? No, it's not even on the top. So where is it? What the heck? Yeah, because we didn't have that little thing on the top on the iPhone 16 series. Huh. That's weird. Yeah, the 17's great. Honestly, it's a great option. Affordable, relatively speaking, and great display, good cameras, better battery life, faster charging, 40-watt charging. That's awesome. Better battery life than a 15 Plus. Don't want to compare it to the 16 Plus. Plus is now reserved for Apple services moving forward. Well, we thought that, and then they brought it back, so who knows? Yeah, it's integrated in camera control. So why did they move it on the Pro, I guess is the question. What's so different about camera control on the Pro? It's just called the iPhone Air, which will make it easier to discontinue when it fails. So why couldn't they put millimeter wave in this camera control? Why did they have to put it on the top? This makes me uncomfortable. Stop it. I'm just trying to hold it there. Do this real quick. This makes me uncomfortable. How's the RAM? Of course, they never mention the RAM. It'd be interesting if it was different based on the storage size, though. Maybe the 2 terabyte ones are more RAM. Yeah, it's like a TV remote, huh? Is it in the tech specs? I like how Apple doesn't think unified memory is good enough for tech specs. It's probably 12 gigs. That's what all the rumors were. Yeah, I don't think they'll say. Let me do Command F. Memory. Nope. No reference. What if I do unified? Nope. All these tech specs and they won't give you a single thing on RAM. The Air has one less GPU core than a Pro. Wow, that'll make a difference. The USB-C port on the Air is misaligned. Really? That's the kind of stupid details I love. Doesn't look misaligned. They casually said the 19 Pro has faster cache and more memory. Okay, so it's probably 12 gigs. Remote from click. The Pro has waves now. Hey. All this fine print. Okay. Dynamic island does... I noticed that too. I didn't say anything. But yeah, the dynamic island does look a little lower on the Air. Like there's more space behind it. Maybe that's how they fit it in with the plateau. Kind of hiding it, aren't they? There you go. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot more pixels above the island, huh? And the hands-on, the blue glass on the back is super ugly. Check the iPhone Air where you can rotate it. It's on the bottom. Oh, jeez. That might be a render error, to be honest. That doesn't look right. Is it really not perfectly centered? Well, it wouldn't be the first time. That's kind of like the iPhone XR and the 11. Oh, they're saying it's more to one side. Oh, yeah. It's just a little lower. But that, I think that might be even a render problem. That's weird. I don't think it's a matte display, but they said they have a more anti-reflective coating, which is kind of cool. Much lighter than the rest of the blue 17 Pro. Well, the Pro is about functionality, right? And I think switching to a unibody enclosure was smart for thermals. Let's move to 17 Pro for Mini. Now they don't have a freaking black color. Well, you could always get a case. How's the storage options? 256. $200 jump to get 512. Wow. Whew. $1,400 phone with USB 2 and one camera. Yike. The corner radius of the plateau is really bugging me. This doesn't match the rotation. Space black looks kind of clean. 17 is still an entirely glass black. Yes, but it is a updated ceramic shield, so it's supposed to be more durable. Sorry about the audio, but I'm going to turn on the fan for a second. I'm just getting too hot. Oh, that feels better. All right. I think I've got a lot of work to do. Thank the EU. I thank the EU for forcing Apple to use Type-C. Because that was the right call and Apple wasn't doing it on their own. Yeah, I think they said AirPods Pro 3 has a slightly tweaked tweeter. So it's supposed to sound better. It said there's a charging sound every 2 seconds. Probably people supporting? I don't know. There's supposed to be a little sound every time someone subscribes or something. But the Air is also sold in EU, no SIM card slot. Yeah, you gotta just eSIM it, even if you don't like it. I guess that's the only option. You keep hearing a charging sound. I don't see it on my end. I'm looking for it. I'm looking at the waveforms, but I don't see anything coming in. My MacBook's having trouble? Weird. I don't see any waveforms coming in from other sources on OBS. Every 2 seconds. Really? Let me listen. I'm not hearing it at all. Sorry, guys. Now that you noticed it, it's disappearing. Oh, you're right. The Mac. I see it. I see it now. Okay, my Mac is unplugged. It's like 2 minutes, not seconds. Okay. Everybody's exaggerating. Who is hating on 17 Pro not having a black phone? Well, everybody. Why not? Yep. We checked the battery pack. It's weird. One speaker and one camera is pretty weird. Okay. Um. Wow. There's still 1,000 of you watching, even as I'm munching Ritz crackers. Um. The clear case for the Pro looks stupid. I agree. That is a very bad design. Apple YouTube channel with the comparison. Okay. Feel free to watch it because I gotta get going. I think I got a lot of stuff to film and I gotta clear a bunch of stuff off my phone. And this might take a while, so I'm probably just gonna have to end the stream here if that's okay with you guys. But I appreciate you all for tuning in. iPhone 16 will have a great deal. That's true. It's cheaper. It's still here. But the $699. So it's $100 more to get a 16 over a 16e. They really should have lowered the price of the 16e. That's stupid. Yeah, definitely don't get the 16e now. The regular 16 is far better. Probably get a 15 if I'm being honest. They didn't lower the price. That's crazy. So it's $100 more to get a regular 16. Huh. Dark red would go hard. Sorry, I want to film the, I want to stream the filming, but there's just a lot of stuff I got to move around, and I got to clear a bunch of stuff off my phone. So, I think I just got to wrap it up here. Sorry, guys. It's kind of a weird day. I might not be able to finish it all in one sitting. I've got other things going on today, but Brian Tong has got video up on the 17 and 17 Pros in person, so feel free to go check those out. There's plenty of much better YouTubers to watch. So don't worry about me. But anywho, thank you guys for tuning in. It's time to rant about how great the Pro is. It's awesome. Bye, all. Have a good day.